The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, partially transcribed, by the Kraft Foods Company. Kraft, makers of Velveeta, the famous pasteurized processed cheese food that tastes so good and is so good for you. Yes, Velveeta is another of the Kraft family of fine foods. Foods you can depend on for delicious eating, for wholesome, healthy eating. So remember, to get the cheese food of quality, get Velveeta, the cheese food that's made by Kraft. Well, it's spring, the season when enterprising young fellows like Leroy are busy lining up work for the summer. It's also the season when enterprising older fellows like the great Gildersleeve wish they didn't have to work.
Oh, what a balmy day. Right, George, I've got a good notion to take off and go to the baseball game.
Well, shouldn't you be at the water department, Unky?
Well, Marjorie, I might just send the mayor a telegram saying I've gone to visit my sick grandmother.
What if the mayor happens to go to the game?
We'll just sit together and talk about our sick grandmothers.
Oh, Unky.
Yeah, I think I'll go to the game and take Paula. She likes baseball. Yeah, I'll run across the street and ask her if she'd like to go this afternoon.
I doubt if she'll give you a date after you stood her up the other night.
Marjorie, I didn't stand her up. I had a good reason for not filling my engagement with Paula.
She said it was a very silly excuse.
What's so silly about staying out at the reservoir all night fixing a snifter valve?
Well, it sounds a little lame to a woman.
Well, you can't expect a woman to know anything about a snifter valve.
Hi, Bertie.
Hello, Leroy.
Is Unc still home?
He's with Miss Marjorie.
Thanks. Unc! Oh, Unc!
In the parlor, Leroy.
Unc, I got my summer job lined up.
Summer job?
And you got to promise you'll let me do it.
What are you going to do, Leroy?
Yes, before I promise, what is the job?
Working at the bowling alley.
What?
Yeah, 50 cents an hour for setting pins.
Leroy, you can't take that job. Setting pins is dangerous. I know. The judge and I used to bowl.
But everybody isn't as wild as you and the judge.
Well, I'm not going to have you standing at the end of an alley with people throwing balls at you.
Heavens, no. What a ridiculous way to spend the summer.
Let me do it, Unc. It'll keep me off the streets.
I'd rather have you on the streets than in the alleys.
It's good money. Let me do it, Unc.
No.
I'll even let you off the hook. You won't have to pay me my allowance.
No.
Oh, Unc, a guy has to have some money. I gotta do something.
My boy, I think it's fine that you want to work. I don't want to discourage it. Find some way to make money at home.
Like what? When I got my allowance up to 75 cents, I figured I'd hit the top at home.
Leroy, when I say work, I don't mean work me. When I was a boy, I wasn't so interested in working for somebody else as I was starting a business of my own.
How'd you get sidetracked?
What do you mean?
Well, now you work for everybody who wants to take a bath or a drink of water.
Well, at least I'm the head of the water department. What you want to do is head up your own business. Start something here in the neighborhood.
Like what?
Well, you could mow lawns, Leroy, or have a lemonade stand.
Lemonade stand. And muscle in on the 6-year-olds?
Well, when I was your age, I had a garden and sold vegetables. Another year, I raised rabbits.
There's no money in rabbits now. Easter's over.
If you set your mind to it, my boy, there are plenty of things to do. Just to start you off, I'll set you up in business.
Keen! What kind of business?
Well, that's up to you. I'll give you $5 to invest any way you see fit.
Oh, boy, $5?
Of course, it has to be a home project. And I'll give you complete use of the backyard from the clothesline to the incinerator.
You mean it, Unc?
You bet. Here's the $5.
Hey, I'm a success. I got money and property. Now I don't have to work.
Leroy.
Only kidding, Unc.
$4, $5, $6. Half a dozen roses should help win Paula over. She doesn't have to know I picked them in her front yard. This is a bold thing for you to do, Gildersleeve. Now I know it's spring. Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies.
Why, Throckmorton.
Yeah, it's me. How are you, Paula? May I come in?
I don't know.
I have roses for you.
They're lovely. But I didn't know you had roses.
Well, I have good contacts.
You can come in for a minute.
How about 6 minutes? I have 6 roses.
Oh, come in, Throckmorton. I can't be angry with you.
You've no reason to be angry with me, Paula. I wouldn't have broken the date with you for anything but a snifter valve.
Oh, did that burn me up? Whoever heard of a snifter valve?
Oh, Paula. How about declaring a truce and going to the baseball game this afternoon?
I don't know if I should give you another date.
Even an afternoon date? To go to a baseball game?
Oh, really, I can't go this afternoon.
Okay, tomorrow? Tomorrow afternoon?
Well...
The next day?
Well, wait a minute. I haven't decided about tomorrow yet.
Oh, say you'll go.
All right, we'll go tomorrow.
Great.
But it's only a great love that makes me say yes.
Paula, you mean that?
I love baseball.
Oh, my goodness. Hello, everybody. I'm home.
Oh, hello, Unky.
Well, Marjorie, have a nice day?
Uh-huh. Did you go to the baseball game this afternoon?
No, couldn't talk Paula into it today. But we're going tomorrow. Besides, I decided I shouldn't take off on a working day.
Oh?
So I stayed at the office and listened to the game on the radio. Leroy here?
Well, I haven't seen him since he left home this morning with your $5.
It doesn't usually take Leroy all day to spend $5.
I guess he's looking for a business venture.
Miss Gildersleeve,
Yes, Bertie?
if you're looking for Leroy, he just came in the driveway pushing a wheelbarrow.
Hey, come on, Marjorie. You wonder what he's doing with the wheelbarrow.
He's taking a big white box out in the backyard.
Well, he's bought something. Let's go see what it is.
Bertie's got to see this, too.
What could he be keeping in a box?
Oh, could be a number of things. Guinea pigs, pigeons.
Hi, everybody.
Well, Leroy, what do you have in the box?
Put your ear down there and see if you can guess.
Well, all right.
Get closer.
Leroy. Do I hear bees?
Bees? Bees? Yeah, bees.
There's bees, all right. Take a listen, Marjorie.
No, thanks.
Bertie, take a... Where is she?
I'm over here behind this tree.
They won't hurt you, Bertie. You can make pets out of them.
No, sir. Bertie ain't petting no bees.
Look, I got a book on them. It says here, every successful beekeeper, that's me, develops a strong affection for the busy little creatures.
Does it really say that, Leroy?
Yeah.
Uncle Mort, make Leroy get rid of these bees.
March, they won't hurt anything out here in the yard.
How's Bertie going to hang clothes on the line with bees buzzing all around?
Bertie, come out from behind that tree.
No, sir. One thing a bee can't do is see around the corner. Bertie's staying right here.
Leroy, why do you want to keep bees?
Well,
Anybody keeps bees is going to find it hard to keep Bertie.
Unky, you'll have to do something.
gosh, you're just keeping a little kid from making big money.
Well, Marjorie, Bertie, perhaps we should give the bees a chance. Learn a little more about them. I'm sure we'll get along together. Let's see the book, Leroy.
Okay.
That's this. The Business End of Bees.
That does it. Bertie don't want no part of the business end of no bees.
Bertie, how do you feel about bees this morning?
Well, I'll tell you this, Leroy. I ain't been out there this morning shaking hands with them.
I warn you, Leroy, when Uncle Mort comes down to breakfast, I'm going to have another talk with him.
But, Marge, if you read the book, you'd see there's nothing to be afraid of. All you gotta do is get acquainted with them
Oh, fine.
and learn their ways. They'll like you if you don't do the things they resent. Listen to what it says. Here. You're okay if you don't wear dark clothes around bees. That makes them mad.
Well, they always sound mad to me.
Nah, most of the time they just buzz for fun. Another thing the book says, when a bee comes home loaded with honey, Don't stand in their line of flight.
What happens if you do?
You get stung, naturally. And the thing that makes them maddest is when you spy on them. They don't want you lifting the lid of their hive and looking inside.
Good morning, little family.
Hi, Unc.
Good morning, Miss Gildersleeve.
Well, nice day for the ball game.
Yeah.
Shall I start your eggs, Miss Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie, thank you. And while Bertie's fixing breakfast, Leroy, let's bounce out and say hello to the bees.
Sure. Uncle Mort, you better not wear that blue serge suit.
Why not? It's good enough for the ball game. It's good enough for the bees.
All right, good luck.
Dark clothes make them excited, Unc.
Oh, that's silly. Why should a bee care what I wear?
Hey, look! Some of them are buzzing around the flowers already.
Yes, indeed. Look at the happy little fellows. They're working for you, Leroy.
Boy, oh boy. They make the honey and I make the money.
Well, let's see what goes on here.
Unc, you think you ought to peep through the slot like that?
Leroy, I'm getting acquainted with the little fellows.
Well, if one makes a beeline home, you'll get acquainted all right.
Leroy, I know a thing or two about bees. Basically, they're a man's friend. The only insect that provides a portion of man's food.
That's the part I like about them.
We can learn a lot from bees, my boy. They have a wonderful system of government. They learn to live and work together in harmony. It's something people haven't learned to do yet. Think I'll lift the lid.
You're not supposed to lift the lid of the hive, Unc. They really resent that.
I just want to see what they're doing. Well, look at that industry. It's inspiring. Right, George, Leroy, this is the finest project you ever had. Leroy, where are you?
Behind the tree.
Oh, there's nothing to be afraid of. Hello, little bees. Bees. Now, watch it, bees. Bees, settle down. Stay in there. Oh! Bertie! Marjorie! Somebody, open the door!
Door's open!
Just in time.
Are you okay, Unc?
Leroy, those bees have got to go.
The great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. Spring. Wonderful, isn't it? I guess I have just a touch of spring fever, but then almost everyone does. And, Mother, if these bright and sunny mornings find you wishing you didn't have quite so much to do, just listen to this idea for a quick and easy lunch and main dish that'll give you more time to indulge your spring fever. It's simply open-faced sandwiches you make with slices of trimmed and toasted white bread, spread with Miracle Whip salad dressing, and topped with a slice of tomato, a good thick slice of Velveeta, Kraft's golden pasteurized processed cheese food, and a strip or two of broiled bacon. You put these sandwiches in a moderate oven just until the Velveeta is melted, and there you are with a wonderful hot dish that's quick and easy to fix and really good to eat. You bet your life it is, because Velveeta has a marvelous, rich yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And Velveeta adds lots of nourishment to that lunch. Lots of high-quality complete proteins, as well as other important food values from milk. And remember, this cheese food is digestible as milk itself. Let wholesome, delicious Velveeta be your handy helper for all kinds of hot and cold sandwiches and snacks. Get a 2-pound loaf tomorrow. Just be sure you see the name Velveeta on the package you buy. Velveeta is the cheese food of finest quality, and it's made only by Kraft. The great Gildersleeve gave his nephew Leroy $5 to invest in a business, and Leroy came home with a colony of bees. Well, let's take it from there.
Leroy, why did you have to bring home a swarm of bees?
Now, Unc, you said I could invest the money any way I wanted to.
Well, when they chased me in the house, I suddenly changed my mind.
I told you they'd resent it when you lifted the lid off their hive.
I was just trying to be sociable. Ungrateful little demons.
Well, you're the only ones they seem to bother, Unky.
Have you been out in the backyard, Marjorie?
Of course. The bees and I seem to get along fine.
That's strange.
They were too busy gathering honey to pay any attention to me.
Now, you see how harmless they are, Unc?
Leroy, anything that carries a concealed weapon isn't considered harmless.
Bertie didn't like them bees at first, but she ain't got nothing against them anymore.
Oh?
They didn't bother me when I hung out the clothes.
You see, Unc?
All right, but they'll turn on you sooner or later. Thank goodness I don't have to stay around the house all day. I can go to the office and get away from them, and that's where I'm going.
Goodbye, Unky. So long, Unc.
Goodbye. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Perfect day for baseball. Well, I'll get a little work done at the office, and then drop back for Paula. What's that? Bee? Where are you? Whoop! Right over my head. Hope I can make it back inside. Made it.
What happened, Unky?
Marjorie, you know that fool bee was waiting outside for me?
That must have been a sentinel, Unc.
A sentinel?
Yeah, the book says if bees don't like you, they'll guard a house for 24 hours waiting for you to come out.
Oh, my goodness. That one certainly wanted to get at me.
Yeah. Now he's even ringing the doorbell.
Oh, Leroy.
Perhaps you'd better, Bertie.
Morning, Bertie. Morning, Judge Hooker.
You see, Unc, the bees didn't bother the judge.
Well, I guess bees don't bother old goats.
What's this, Gildy?
Hello, Judge.
Leroy has a swarm of bees, Judge.
Yes.
Yeah. Come on out, Marge. Let's go out and water them.
All right.
Why don't you let the water commissioner water them?
Judge, those confounded bees won't let me out of the house.
They won't.
No, Unc's a prisoner. Come on, Marge.
I have a date to take Paula to the baseball game this afternoon, but now I don't know if I can get out.
Timid beekeepers often wear a net.
I don't have a net.
Well, you're a city official. Why don't you borrow a net from the dog catcher?
Yeah.
Only kidding, only kidding. But I do know that bees are controlled by smoke.
They are?
Yeah, it confuses them when you blow smoke into the hive.
Judge, this bee is guarding the door.
Well, herd him into the hive and blow smoke into it.
How do you herd a bee into a hive?
That's your problem.
Yes. I had to break a date with Paula last week. If I don't show up this afternoon, it's curtains. She'll never want to see me again.
Why don't you and Paula call it off? You're both going to get stung.
What do you mean?
Well, if you step out the door, you get stung. And she steps out with you, she gets stung.
Judge, a fellow who calls himself a lawyer should have some constructive suggestion.
Well, if you're calling upon my legal talents, I could get an injunction against the bee.
An injunction, Judge?
To prohibit the culprit from picketing your property. And should he sting you, we have him on a charge of illegal entry.
Silly old coot.
Well, I must be on my way, Gildy. Now, if the bee continues to annoy you, just give me a buzz, and I'll have Chief Gates put him in jail.
I don't have to give you a buzz. You've got one in your bonnet. Well, it's high noon. I wonder if those bees knocked off for lunch. I think I'll take a peek out the door. Coast seems to be clear. No, you don't! He was above the door all the time, pretending he was a nailhead. What a sneaky bee.
Can't you get out yet, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, not a chance, Bertie.
No, sir.
Bertie, this is funny?
No, sir.
Well, I guess it's funny to people who are on friendly terms with bees. Yeah, I'll get it, Bertie. It must be Peavy with my cigars.
Watch out for the bees!
I'm prepared this time. Hello, Peavy.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Come in.
Do you always threaten your callers with a broom?
This is for the bees, Petey.
How's that?
I irritated Leroy's swarm of bees, and they won't let me out of the house. That's why I asked you to bring the cigars.
My. Perhaps I should have brought a whole box. You could be here for a week.
Petey, I've got to get out this afternoon. I'm taking Paula to the baseball game.
Well, I'll be watching it on television. I get pretty excited about baseball at times.
You do?
I was watching the game yesterday on the set in the store. Fella took a long lead off a second base, and I threw a glass through a showcase trying to pick him off.
Peavy, you sound like an old baseball player.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, I was one of the best players the Apple River Paddywhacks ever had. I was a catcher from way back.
Oh?
I caught everything that came my way until I had to give up baseball to go to work. That's when I caught Mrs. Peavy.
Peavy, this isn't helping me get out of the house. Do you know anything about bees?
Well, I know they make fairly good honey.
But do you have any idea about how to keep them from attacking you?
They didn't attack me.
I know that. I'm the one they're after. Every time I stick my head out of the door, the guard sounds the alarm, and the whole swarm come flying at me like a charge of buckshot.
Well, have you thought of disguising yourself, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Disguising myself?
Why don't you try putting on my hat and going outside? They may think you're me returning to the drugstore.
Say, that's a wonderful idea.
I think so.
But I think a better test would be for you to step outside wearing my hat.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Unky, if you're going to take Paula to the baseball game this afternoon, you better get started.
I can't, Margie. Those bees are still out there.
Mr. Peavy's idea didn't work, Honk.
No. They knew I was the same man wearing a funny hat.
Well, I think it's perfectly ridiculous for a big grown man to be afraid to step out of the house.
Well, I could take one sting, but how do I know the whole swarm won't be after me again?
Try it and let's find out.
Leroy.
Well, Unky, you better call your date and tell her you can't come over because you're afraid of a bee.
I can't tell her that, Marjorie. Last week she thought it silly because I didn't show up because of a snifter valve. She never believed this bee story.
Leroy, can't you call your bees off, Unky?
If I could, I would. I don't like this situation any better than Unc does. I'm losing money. That bee guard in the door hasn't done a lick of work all day.
I'm right by the phone, Bertie. Hello? Oh, it's you, Paula.
There's your girl, Unc.
I know, Leroy.
Oh, no, Unky hasn't forgotten you. He's been standing at the door for the past hour. Sounds a little upset, Unky. Do you want to talk to her?
You tell her I'll be right over.
He says he'll be right over, Paula. Bye.
You gonna make a run for it, Unc?
You bet. I'd rather face an angry bee than an angry woman.
Okay, here's your hat.
Don't push me, Leroy. Now, I'll just pull my coat over my head.
Yeah. You can see where you're going by looking through a buttonhole.
All right. Just hold the door open.
Goodbye, Unky.
Door's open.
Here I go. Phew, I'm glad there's no traffic in the street. I'd hate to have to hurdle a car. I'd have... Hey, I made it. No sign of the bees. By George, I outsmarted them. Yeah, I'll bet that bee is still hanging around my porch wondering what happened. Stupid little fellow. Oh! He got me! Paula, open the door!
What are you
He got me!
Oh, God.
The bee right in the back of the neck.
Oh, come in.
Yeah, I know you'll think this is silly making a fuss about a bee.
Oh, I don't think it's silly at all.
You darn bee followed me clear across the street and ambushed me from behind.
Oh. Now sit down and loosen your collar.
You. Thank you, Paula.
Does it hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, let Paula see. Oh, you poor boy.
Yeah.
That mean old bee. Here, let Paula rub the back of your neck.
Yeah.
Is it feeling better? Shall we go?
Do we have to?
I'll get my coat.
Paula,
Yes?
do we have to leave right away?
Well, if we don't, we'll be late for the game.
Heck, this is better than baseball. Say, I wonder.
Throckmorton, where are you going?
Out on the porch. Bee. Oh, Bee. Here I am. Come back.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just 30 seconds. Wondering what to have for that fourth meal of the day? I mean, that late evening snack we all enjoy so much? Then try this. Get out your favorite crispy crackers and Velveeta, Kraft's golden pasteurized processed cheese food. Sliced or spread on crackers or bread, Velveeta is delicious with a fine, rich, yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. Velveeta is a wholesome snack, too, and it's digestible as milk itself. For wonderful snacks, keep well stocked with Velveeta, the cheese food of top quality made only by Kraft.
Darn bees. Roll the door open, Bertie.
I'm holding the door.
Look out. Get away. Just made it in from the garage. Those confounded bees were right behind me.
You ain't been stung in a couple of days, Mr. Gildersleeve. I don't know if you're speeding up or the bees are slowing down.
Well, I've had all of this I can take. I'm through being a target for that squadron of honey chasers. Leroy!
What is it, Unc?
Leroy, that beehive has got to go.
But you said I could keep it. I paid $5 for it. It's a business.
Well, you'll never make any money out of it. Never. If you're smart, you'll get rid of it right now.
I don't want to get rid of it.
Look, my boy, I'll give you $5 to take it away.
$5? That's what I paid for it.
Well, you'll never make any money on those bees. I'll give you $6.
No, I don't think so.
Leroy, you'll never make a profit of them. I'll give you $10.
No.
Confounded Leroy, there's no money in bees. I'll give you $15.
Make it 20 and you got a deal.
You're all right, 20. There's your money. Now go out and buy something that'll bring a return on your investment.
5, 10, 15, 20. Well, I know what I'm going to buy.
What?
4 more hives of bees.
What a boy. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is partially transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Gene Bates, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Done up just right, a delicious hamburger can be truly a gourmet's delight, a big deal in eating pleasure. Of course, just about every good cook knows that a dash of Kraft prepared mustard really makes a hamburger. Because when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Kraft mustard, naturally. There are 2 kinds of Kraft prepared mustard. Mild Kraft mustard, if you like it smooth and delicately spiced. Snappy Kraft mustard with horseradish added, if you like it nippy. Get both kinds of Kraft prepared mustard at your food store.
Next, Groucho Marx presents You Bet Your Life on NBC.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, partially transcribed, by the Kraft Foods Company. Now that there's a Kraft salad oil, it's so easy to make perfect homemade French dressings. Kraft has created a superfined oil, and what a difference superfining makes. You can mix a delicious dressing in less than a minute because Kraft salad oil is lighter bodied for quicker, smoother blending of the ingredients. A little later, I'm going to tell you about some wonderful French dressing recipes you're going to get with Kraft salad oil. So keep on listening. Well, the breakfast dishes have been cleared away, and the great Gildersleeve and his little family are enjoying that quiet moment of relaxation before launching into a busy day.
Leroy, when are you going to finish with that section of the paper?
Just a minute, Unc. I'm reading the editorials.
You, Leroy?
It's an assignment in civics.
Oh, school.
Hey, get a load of this. The editor's telling how little people know about their public officials.
Oh?
It says, in a poll recently conducted, this newspaper was appalled to discover that 75% of the people could not name the mayor of Summerfield.
Well, Mayor Terwilliger is by no means the most popular of the city officials.
Who is?
Go on, my boy. Does it say anything in there about the water department?
I don't see anything yet.
Of course, they might not mention the water department. The editor's probably sharpshooting at the mayor and some of the more obscure officials. Too bad that none of the other city officials make as good an impression on the public as I do.
I hear something about you, Unc, way down at the bottom.
At the bottom?
It says, only 1 person in 10 knew the name of the city water commissioner.
What?
This struck your reporter as most unusual until he realized he couldn't think of it either.
Why, that... He knows my name.
He certainly should, Unky. You've written enough letters to the editor.
Yes, I certainly... Well, Marjorie, come to think of it, I've always signed them irate reader. Stuff like that makes an editor think.
You got him thinking, all right. Listen to this. The fact that so few people know our public officials brings up an interesting question. Aren't our office holders big enough to command respect and attention?
Why, George, Leroy, give me that paper.
Gosh, it was just getting interesting.
That editor conducted a phony poll. Everybody knows Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, the water commissioner.
I don't know, Unky.
What do you mean?
Well, at my bridge club last week, one of the girls asked me if the fellow who read water meters was my uncle.
Charlie Anderson does that.
I know, but she didn't.
Well, if I were you, I'd play bridge with brighter girls.
The kids in my grade know you, Unc.
Yeah, they do, Leroy?
Yeah, when you turn on the faucet and there's air in the pipes, you know the noise it makes?
So?
Well, when the kids hear that, they say, there's Leroy's uncle sounding off again.
Oh, my goodness.
Anybody want some more coffee?
No, thank you, Bertie.
Bertie, wouldn't you say most everybody in town knows me?
Yes, sir.
Now, in your own circle of friends, wouldn't you say everybody knows who I am?
Yes, sir. I was downtown with a girlfriend on my day off, and we saw you cross the street.
You did?
She knew who you were.
There, you see, kids.
She said, Bertie, there goes that man you work for.
Bertie, didn't she know I'm the water commissioner?
Mr. Gildersleeve, she wasn't nosy. She didn't ask what you did.
Oh.
She just asked how much you paid me.
By George, everybody in town's going to know what Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve does. I'll make that editor eat his words. I'll make him eat his whole newspaper. Wait a minute, Leroy. I might just step across the street and speak to that gentleman.
Gosh, you've already asked 3 people who you are, and they wouldn't even answer you.
The lady did.
Yeah? What did she say?
Very funny. Telling a grown man if he wants to know who he is to go to the police station.
Well, I got See you later, Anonymous.
Leroy.
So long, Unc.
Goodbye. I can't believe so few people know I'm the water commissioner. Well, perhaps it's my fault. Maybe I'm too modest. Maybe I've been hiding my light under a bushel. Say, here comes the judge. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. I'm conducting a poll for the local newspaper.
What?
Do you know the name of the local water commissioner?
All right, Judge, so you read the morning paper. Can I help it if I'm self-effacing?
You, Gildy?
I go ahead year after year doing my job, and the newspaper editor jumps on me because I'm not a blowhard.
Well, he was very unkind. But after all, Gildy, this is the year when politicians catch old Billy.
Seriously, Judge, how can I attract everybody's attention?
Let me see. Well, you could go down to the city square and sit on the flagpole.
Yes. Judge, I've got to make my name synonymous with water.
Well, you might change your name to Throckmorton P. Watersleeve.
Judge, please.
And you could christen your new name by running and jumping in the reservoir.
Judge, I have a suggestion for you.
Oh?
You go jump in the reservoir.
I've only been joshing you, Gildy. I'm feeling my oats today.
Feeling your oats? You should be eating them, you old goat.
Well, I'm serious about you jumping in the reservoir.
Oh, you are?
For a long time, you've been wondering about the underground springs that feed the reservoir. You might go down and check the springs for obstructions. It'd make a great publicity story.
Yeah, great human interest. Water commissioner goes to bottom of reservoir. Judge, that's 40 feet deep.
Well, I know where there's a diver suit for sale.
You do?
At the war surplus store.
Yeah, oh, forget it, Judge. I'm not going down in any diving suit.
Well, it's one way of making a splash.
The silliest way I ever heard of. There are plenty of dignified ways to get publicity. I wouldn't dream of making a spectacle of myself. By George, I didn't think I'd have to pay so much for a war surplus diving suit. But those underground springs should be checked in the interest of the people of Summerfield. Yeah, while they're putting the suit in the car, I think I'll call Uncle Charlie Anderson at the reservoir. Tell him my plan.
City Reservoir, Charlie Anderson speaking. Hello?
Charlie?
Hello?
Charlie! Stop saying hello so I can say hello.
Oh, somebody there?
Yes, your boss, Commissioner Gildersleeve.
Oh, you still with us, Bob?
Disrespectful employee.
After reading the newspaper, Commissioner, I thought maybe they put Leroy in charge. Put Leroy!
All right, Charlie.
Anything on your mind besides your hat?
Charlie, the water department has to get some publicity, and I need your help.
You need help from somebody, Bub.
Now, listen, Charlie. We're going to check the underground springs in the reservoir, and I've already bought the diving suit.
Diving suit?
Nothing to it, Charlie. I've got the air pump, so all we have to do...
Oh, no, you don't.
What?
You ain't going to put me into a rubber straitjacket and drop me into 40 feet of water.
Charlie, you misunderstand.
Well, don't you misunderstand me. If you want somebody to go down there and rub noses with those mud turtles, you better get yourself another boy.
Charlie, listen. I'm the one who's going down.
Not only is he... Huh? Oh, so we'll have to get ourselves another water commissioner.
Charlie... I think I'll stop in at Peavy's and show him my diving suit. I might as well let people know what I'm up to. And the suit and the lead shoes are a little heavy, so I'll just take in the helmet. Say, why don't I wear the helmet? Sure, I'll surprise Peavy. It's pretty heavy. Yeah, there. Yeah, I can see him through this little window. But I doubt if he can see me. Yeah, Peavy won't even know who I am. Hello, Mr. Druggist.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you today?
Oh, my goodness. Let me out of this thing. Peavy, could you tell it was me through the little window?
No, I could tell it was you by your big window.
All right, Peavy. I guess you're wondering what I'm doing with the diving helmet.
Well, after reading this morning's paper, you could be carrying a diving helmet to let people know you're the water commissioner.
No, Peavy.
What are you going to wear on your head tomorrow? A fire hydrant?
Peavy, I'm not just carrying this thing around to impress people.
You don't say.
Tomorrow I'm going to put it on and jump in the reservoir.
My, what are you going to do that for?
To impress people. Yeah, I mean, that newspaper has been a little rough on me, claiming nobody knows me. So I'm diving to the bottom of the reservoir to inspect the underground springs.
That ought to get you some publicity.
Well, since it's such a spectacular public service, I thought it wouldn't do any harm to phone the paper and have the photographer out there.
Oh, my, no.
So they'll be covering it, Peavy. Why, George, after this stunt, everybody will recognize me.
Well, they will if you come up.
Peavy, there's nothing dangerous about it when you're wearing a diving suit like this.
Mr. Gildersleeve, where did you get the suit?
The war surplus.
My.
It has U.S. Navy stamped right on it.
I wonder why the Navy didn't want it.
Well, the Navy's been changing the style of its uniforms. Peavy, you aren't suggesting that something could be wrong with the suit, are you?
Well, I'm a cautious man, just asking a question.
Well, nothing's going to happen. Besides, if they were insulting you with editorials, you'd do something about it, wouldn't you?
Well, yes.
And don't you agree this is a surefire way to get publicity?
Yes.
So if you were me, you'd go down into 40 feet of water, too.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I'm going, landlubber.
The great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. If you take special pride in the salads you serve, Kraft has a wonderful surprise for you at your grocery store. In fact, 6 wonderful surprises. Attached to every bottle of Kraft salad oil is a folder of recipes for 6 excitingly different French dressings. These dressings are new and unusual, yet so very easy to make. There's a recipe for cranberry French dressing, a tart and colorful dressing for scoops of cottage cheese. There's a glistening lemon dressing that brings a refreshing tang to fruit salads. And there's chili relish dressing, a spicy topper for tomato and egg slices. Once you try these recipes, you'll discover what a quick and simple thing it is to make your own French dressings. You'll realize, too, how easy it is to vary the dressing to suit the salad. The possibilities for variety are endless. The secret of making perfect French dressings every time is to use Kraft salad oil. Kraft salad oil is the one oil that's superfined to give it a lighter body. It blends better with all the other ingredients the recipe calls for. Tomorrow, find out how easy it is to make your own French dressings that are exactly right for the salad you're serving them with. Tomorrow, get superfine Kraft salad oil. And with it, get the handy folder of 6 new and delicious recipes. Well, a newspaper poll taken in Summerfield indicated that very few people know who the water commissioner is. So in high dudgeon, the great Gildersleeve resolved to get himself some publicity. Right now, he's getting varied reactions from his little family.
Uncle Mort, are you really going to the bottom of the reservoir in that diving suit?
Well, Peavy didn't think so much of it either. It could be this isn't one of my best ideas.
I think it's keen. Gosh, I wish I could go down with you.
Well, that suit's big enough for both of you.
Are you going to try it on, Mr. Gildersleeve, or do you think it fits all right?
Go ahead, try it on, Unc.
Uncle Mort, I know you're going to be sorry if you go through with this. Why don't you call it off?
Why, what could happen?
Well, any number of things. Your lines could foul and cut off your air supply.
Well.
Or one of your lead feet could get stuck on the bottom.
Get stuck?
Great! We can get a derrick to hoist him. You'd get publicity all over the country.
Now, Leroy,
Of course, it would take time to get a derrick. I can see the headlines. Water Commissioner on bottom for third day.
Leroy.
To get you out, we might even have to dynamite the reservoir.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve.
That does it. I'll phone the newspaper and call it off.
Unc,
Yes, Leroy?
you mean you're going to back out after telling the newspapers you were going to do it?
Why not?
Oh, brother. I'd hate to be in your shoes.
What do you mean?
Well, you and the editor don't get along. Think what he'll print if you back out now.
He'll print if I back it. He'd tear me apart.
Yeah. He'll say you're a big coward.
Leroy.
I can see the paper now. Water Commissioner backs down, afraid to jump in his own reservoir.
Leroy, stop reading the headlines. I'm going to do it.
I've been thinking, Mr. Gildersleeve, a smart man like you might forget about them springs in a case like this.
You watch this, Bertie?
Why can't you go down a couple of feet and float there?
Well, that's an idea.
What a phony deal.
But, Uncle Mort, even if you just go under the surface, you can get in trouble if the suit doesn't work.
Hey, let's get the diving suit and test it for leaks.
Leaks? Well, how, Leroy?
You get in the suit and we dunk you in the bathtub.
Leroy, that's the first sensible suggestion you've come up with all day. Yeah, testing this diving suit in the bathtub is a good idea. Because if it leaks, I don't have to go into the reservoir. Well, here goes. Darn lead shoes. Yeah. This is the first time I ever got in the bathtub not expecting to get wet. Yeah, that's one leg in. Yeah. Now, if I can just get the other leg in. Whoop. I'm in. It's still dry. The legs don't seem to leak. Darn it. I think I'll slide down on my back and test the top part. Yo! If I'm not careful with these shoes, I'll kick out the end of the tub. Yeah. Well, no leaks fore and aft. Now I'll test the helmet. Yeah, I'll need somebody to fasten it on. Leroy! Oh, Leroy!
He went out, Unky.
Oh, that boy. Will you step here a minute, Marjorie?
Where are you?
In the bathtub, testing the suit.
Well, why do you need me?
I want to stick my head underwater.
Well, go ahead and stick it underwater.
Marjorie, the helmet has to be on me first. Give me a hand.
Oh. This thing's heavy.
You over my head. Easy now. Yeah. There we are. Now, help me fasten the clamps.
All right. There, you're clamped.
Now, close the little window, Marjorie. Ooh. Wait until I take my cigar out of my mouth.
Sorry, Unky.
I mustn't forget that out at the reservoir. Fog's up in here in a hurry. What's all that noise downstairs?
Keep in mind.
It's Leroy.
Keep moving up the stairs. Single file.
He's bringing in a bunch of kids.
What is this?
All right, get your nickels ready and fall past the door. Only one look to a customer.
What?
Only 5 cents to see the man from Mars sitting in a bathtub.
Leroy!
Well, Unc, you got a nice day for your stunt.
What's good about it, Leroy?
At least it isn't raining.
My boy, when you're going underwater, you don't worry about it raining. Well, might as well walk out on the pier. Yeah. These lead boots get heavier and heavier. Hope they don't carry me through this pier before I can get my helmet on.
Yeah, you'd sink like a sack of cement.
Leroy, let's not be gruesome.
You not worried, are you?
Well, yes. It's natural to worry when you do something like this for the first time.
Oh, well, it'll probably be your last.
Leroy.
I mean, you won't want to dive again, will you?
Positively not. Where is that Charlie Anderson?
I don't know, but he better show up soon. That photographer up on the dam is getting impatient.
Well, they'll just have to hold the presses. I can't go down without somebody on the air pump.
Hey, here comes Mr. Peavy.
Oh? I wondered if any of my friends were coming down to see me off.
There's quite a few people up on the dam, Unc.
Great. Hello, Peavy.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. Leroy.
Hi.
Glad to see you down here, Peavy.
I thought you'd appreciate it. I've only closed the store on 2 occasions.
That's so?
One was the balloon ascension, and now a balloon descension.
You're all right, Peavy. I'm not in the mood for jests.
Unc's a little nervous about going down, Mr. Peavy.
Well, if he'd pump some helium into that suit, he could go the other way.
Yes.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Here he is. Hi, Uncle Charlie.
Hello, Leroy. All ashore that's going ashore.
Charlie, where have you been?
Commissioner, I had to go get a sedative pill. I'm a little nervous about you going down there.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. You might come back up.
Funny mechanic. Charlie, let's get this helmet on.
Yeah, in a jiffy. Oh, hello, Mr. Peavy.
Hello, Charlie.
Commissioner, I see you have a doctor in attendance.
You're all right, Charlie. Clamp on the helmet.
Okay.
Charlie, you got it on backwards. The window should be in front.
Well, you're so scared I thought you might not want to see where you're going. I'll turn her around.
Charlie, watch it. I have ears in here.
Well, you're lucky they're not out here. Well, helmet's clamped on.
Hey, Unc, hold up your hand and wave. They want to take your picture.
Where's the photographer? Oh, yes. Goodbye, people.
All right, Commissioner, get ready to jump.
Wait a minute, Charlie. Turn on the pump first.
Oh, yeah, the pump. Details.
Fairly important.
You haven't checked the lines, Charlie.
I did that this morning before you was up. Contact! Hey, here's something funny. Motor seems to have a knock.
That's Unc's knees.
Oh, is that all? I thought we might have a little excitement when you get him down below.
Charlie, I'm not going all the way down.
Who says you're not?
Unc just wants to go down a couple of feet.
It's just for publicity, Charlie.
I thought you were going down to inspect the springs.
Well, now that I'm out here, that doesn't seem so important. Now, Charlie, if you'll just lower me a couple of feet underwater.
Commissioner, I want no part of subterfuge. If you think I'm going to help you flim-flam the public, you can get yourself another boy.
But, Charlie!
So I'm going to close your window and push you off.
Charlie! No, Charlie!
There she blows.
I'm sinking like a rock. Charlie, pull me up. Charlie, answer me through the speaking tube.
Hello, long distance. Are you there, Commissioner?
Am I here? Charlie, pull me up.
Whoa, Nellie.
Hey, I've stopped sinking. Good old Charlie. He wouldn't let me down all the way. All right, pull me up now, Charlie.
Leroy, you want to talk to your uncle?
Hi, Unc.
Leroy, instruct Charlie to pull me up.
Oh, Mr. Peavy, say hello to the Commissioner.
Oh, my goodness, Charlie.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy, get off the line.
I'm not standing on it.
Put Charlie back on.
Say, you see anything of those underground springs, Commissioner?
No, I don't, Charlie.
Then down you go.
Yep. Charlie! Confound it! If I ever get up, I will get myself another boy. Fish, go away from my window.
Unky, tell us some more about it.
Well, Marjorie, the dam was lined with people. And I waved to the photographer and stepped boldly to the edge of the pier.
And Charlie Anderson pushed him in.
Well, Leroy, see if the paper's come yet.
Okay, I'll check the front yard.
Yeah, I can't wait to read my publicity.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you do beat all.
Do I, Bertie?
Not many men would go into 40 feet of water in a strange diving suit.
I thought you were only going down a couple of feet, Unky.
Well, some people would have tried to flim-flam the public that way. But I'll have no part of subterfuge. By George, when I go in the water, I go all the way.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I went to some trouble and expense, and I know I worried my little family. But there's one thing sure. When the newspaper hits the streets, everybody's going to know that Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve is the Water Commissioner.
Here's the paper, Unc.
Yeah, great. Let's see it, my boy.
There's nothing about you on page 1.
Well, the front page is for politics.
Mr. Gildersleeve, ain't that why you jumped in?
Bertie. Yeah, let's see. Here it is. Here it is on page 2.
Oh, wonderful, Unky.
Is that you?
Sure, it's me, in the diving suit.
You just can't see him with a helmet on.
By George, when I go out for publicity, I get it. Read it to us, Leroy.
Sure. It says, unidentified fat diver cavorts in reservoir.
What?
Where was our city water commissioner when these shenanigans were pulled?
Where are those lead boots? I'm going down to see that editor.
The Great Gildersleeve will be right back. All of you who like homemade French dressings know they're only as good as the salad oil that's used to blend the other ingredients. And that's true of your baking, too. When the oil you use is Kraft salad oil, you're sure of a better salad dressing. You're sure of tender, finer-grained cakes. Kraft salad oil is super fine to blend more smoothly and more quickly with other ingredients. Tomorrow, get lighter-bodied Kraft salad oil.
This is Gildersleeve again. We've been asked by the Red Cross to tell you how you can help the 26,000 families now homeless in the Midwestern flood area. Send your contribution to your local Red Cross chapter. To care for these families during this emergency will take a lot more money than your Red Cross received in this last campaign. So let's all do our share. Send whatever you can to your local Red Cross chapter. And before we leave you, I'd like to say how much my little family and I appreciated all those fine letters you wrote about our Easter program. It may take a little time, but I'm going to answer them all. And Bertie's going to help, aren't you, Bertie?
Yes, sir. They were such nice letters.
Yes, they certainly were. Don't forget the Red Cross. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is partially transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Cliff Arquette, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
What goes into a perfect sandwich? Maybe it's roast beef or savory baked ham. Whatever your favorite, the perfect meat sandwich needs the perfect mustard, Kraft prepared mustard. For when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. You can take your choice of two kinds of Kraft mustard. Mild Kraft mustard is smooth and delicately spiced. Or if you like your mustard with extra pep, try Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added. Keep them both on hand and keep everyone in the family happy. Next time, get Kraft prepared mustard.
Next, Groucho Marx presents You Bet Your Life on NBC.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, partially transcribed, by the Kraft Foods Company. Have you heard the big news from salad dressing headquarters? It's Kraft Salad Oil, a special kind of salad oil that makes it easy for anyone to mix perfect French dressings at home. Kraft Salad Oil is superfine. That means it has a lighter body, exactly right for blending better with other ingredients. A little later, I'm going to tell you about some wonderful French dressing recipes you can get with Kraft Salad Oil. So keep listening. Well, it looks like the great Gildersleeve's nephew Leroy is going to camp this summer. What a lucky fellow. A whole month of swimming in a lake, hiking through the woods, and singing songs around a campfire to top off the day. This evening, Leroy is getting together all the necessary paraphernalia.
Hey, Unc.
What is it, Leroy?
May I come in a minute?
Oh, come in, my boy.
Sorry to interrupt you while you're paying your monthly bills.
Yeah, that's all right. It's one time when I don't mind being interrupted. What's on your mind?
Unc, are you going to use your canoe paddle this summer?
Well, I hadn't planned to.
Gee, you don't happen to have a canoe that goes with it.
Well, I used to have a canoe and a guitar that went with it.
Yeah? Where are they?
It's a long story, my boy. The young lady I was entertaining at the time didn't know much about paddling a canoe.
Tipped over, huh?
Yep. The guitar sank. The young lady waded home. And all I've got left is the paddle. What do you want with it, Leroy?
I thought I'd take it with me to camp this summer.
Camp?
Yeah, I'm getting my equipment all set. Your canoe paddle, your fishing rod, your sleeping bag, your compass.
Looks like I'm the one who should be going to camp.
Oh, I'm taking my own bathing trunks.
Well, in mine, you'd need a compass.
Boy, am I going to have fun at camp. I can't wait till school's out.
Leroy, before you get too worked up about camp, haven't you forgotten something?
I don't think so. Sleeping bag, fishing rod.
No. That isn't what I mean, my boy. I seem to recall a little agreement we made when the subject of camp first came up.
Yeah? What kind of agreement?
Yeah, I'll refresh your memory. I agreed to send you to camp if you brought home a better report card.
Report card?
That thing you bring home from school with C's and D's on it, you know.
Oh, that.
Yes, that. You were pretty low in a couple of subjects, but you agreed to pull them up in exchange for a summer at camp.
Did I agree to do that? Must have been out of my mind.
It's just about report card time again, isn't it?
Yeah, tomorrow. The kids call it Terrible Thursday.
Well, I can see you're not worried about it.
I'm not?
You must be pretty confident. Getting out your camping equipment and all. Yeah, I'll bet you've been studying harder this term than you've ever studied in your life.
I guess so.
You bet. When I was in school, my boy, I never got a grade below C+ on my report cards. And you know you can do as well as I can.
I can?
Yeah. So have fun getting ready for camp, and let me know if I have anything else you'd like to borrow.
Wonder if I could borrow one of his report cards.
Miss Marjorie?
Yes, Bertie?
What's wrong with Leroy?
Leroy?
Look at him out the window there. Dragging home from school.
Where, Bertie?
Coming down the sidewalk, kicking a can.
Uh-oh. This is report card day.
And the way he kicked that can, the news must be bad.
Oh, I hope not, Bertie. His trip to camp depends on this.
That poor little boy.
Hello, Leroy.
Hello, Leroy.
Hi.
Anything happen at school today?
Let's not beat around the bush. I don't get to go to camp.
Poor little Leroy.
May I see your report card, Leroy?
If you want to, it's in the envelope.
These grades don't look so bad, Leroy.
Yeah? Wait till you get down to the E in English.
An E.
Miss Turner gave it to me.
Oh, well, you have until June to make it up.
Yeah, but this is the report card that Unc's checking. An E in English. Why don't I give up?
Now, Leroy, don't you be discouraged.
Well, an E isn't passing, Bertie.
Well, maybe the school changed the grading system. Maybe that E stands for excellent.
Oh, Bertie.
Gosh, I didn't get a single A.
Well, maybe that's good. A could stand for awful.
Bertie, I know you're trying to make Leroy feel better, but I don't think you can sell that to Uncle Mort.
No, ma'am, I guess not.
Well, guess I better put my camping equipment back in the attic. Can't use it this year.
You're going to give up so easy, Leroy?
Gosh, there's nothing I can do, Bertie.
Okay. There was a time when Leroy would find a way, but I guess that day is gone.
Unc means it this time.
Okay, Leroy's through. Put the camping stuff away, the sleeping bag you was going to curl up in at the campfire, and your uncle's canoe paddle you said you're going to win a race with, and that fishing rod you're going to catch that big whopper with.
Don't put anything away yet, Bertie.
That's more like it.
Leroy, you can't change that E.
No, ma'am, but he can change his uncle.
Leroy, what are you doing sitting here in your room?
Oh, nothing. Marge, suppose we don't mention the report card to Unc when he comes home.
Well, he has to know about it sometime, Leroy. You have to take it back to school.
Miss Turner and her E's. I wonder if I do have to take it back.
What?
Piggy Bacon lost his report card one time and couldn't find it for weeks.
Leroy, you have it right in your pocket. It isn't lost.
Well, I've got a lot of things in my pocket that have gotten lost. Marbles, jackknife, bubble gum. I'm capable of losing a report card.
Well, Uncle Mort will be home any minute, and if I were you, I wouldn't try any funny business.
She doesn't know what I'm giving up. She's never been to a boys' camp. I wonder how Piggy lost his report card. If I did happen to lose mine for a while, I bet this whole thing would blow over and Unc would forget about it and let me go to camp. Say, it's a little stuffy in here. Why don't I open the window? Nice breeze. Now, I'll put the report card in the envelope and lay it on the ledge. If anything needs air, it's this report card. Of course, if the breeze happens to blow it away and Unc asks me where my report card is, I'll just have to be honest and tell him I don't know. Well, I guess I might as well go downstairs. And if I leave the door open, it might create a draft. There it goes, fluttering out the window. Nature sure is tricky. Wind could blow that report card into the gutter. It could go from there into a storm drain and float out into the river. It could go anywhere, around the world. Or I might find it floating in the lake this summer when I'm out in my canoe.
Hello, everybody. I'm home.
There's Unc. It got lost just in time.
Leroy!
Yeah, Unc?
Where are you, my boy?
In here, Unc.
Good. I have something for you.
Yeah?
Coming up the walk, I found this envelope with your name written on it.
Oh, for corn's sake.
Is that a note from your little girlfriend?
This girl is no friend of mine.
Fine dinner, Bertie.
Thank you, sir.
Well, if everybody will excuse me a minute, I'll go get a cigar. Everybody stay at the table, please.
Hey, it's beginning to sound like a meeting.
He's probably going to ask about your report card. I'm surprised Unky didn't look at it when he picked it up in the yard.
He thought it was a note from some girl.
I sure thought he was going to bring up that report card at dinner.
Well, I kept him off the subject, but from now on, you two have got to give me some help.
Leroy, I don't know why you don't show it to Unky and get it over with.
Marge, I got to have time to figure out something.
Shh. Here he comes.
I'll have a second cup of coffee now, Bertie.
Yes, sir.
Let me light your cigar for you, Unc.
Oh, thank you, my boy. You're being unusually thoughtful tonight.
Well, I always think about lighting your cigars, but sometimes I don't get around to doing it.
Ah, Anything interesting happened here at home today, Marjorie?
Nothing really.
Try to think of something.
Bertie, anything new with you today?
Yeah, Bertie, tell us what happened to you today. All day.
Well, I'm trying to think of something, but I can't think of anything except what I'm thinking about.
Big help.
Now, let's get around to little Leroy.
Yeah?
Tell us about your day, my boy. Anything important take place at school?
Well, can I get you an ashtray?
Thank you. Now, tell us about school.
Speaking of ashtrays...
Leroy, I have a feeling you're trying to change the subject.
I am?
I know something of importance that happened to you today.
You do?
Marjorie, I found an envelope in the yard this afternoon with Leroy's name on it.
Oh?
Yep. I was just turning into the yard when I saw it blow out of Leroy's window.
You did?
I assumed it was a note from one of Leroy's little girlfriends. Was I right, Leroy?
Oh, Wonk, let's not talk about my girlfriends. I'll bet when you were in school you got a lot more notes than I ever will. With your personality, I'll bet you were a big wheel with the girls. Don't you mind, don't you, Bertie? Wouldn't you like to hear Unc tell all about it, huh? Go on, tell us about it, huh?
By George, Leroy, you're taking me back a good many years.
Good.
And once I start reminiscing, I can go on all evening.
Go ahead, reminisce. Live it up, Unc.
You know, I think I'll go upstairs and find my old high school annual.
Sure, Unc, we'll excuse you.
Some of those girls got pretty mushy when they signed their names in my yearbook. See you later, Leroy. Marjorie.
Yeah. All right, Unky. Leroy, you're not gaining a thing by postponing the inevitable.
Marge, I know what I'm doing. Did you see how slick I got him off the subject?
I sure thought he had you cornered.
Nah, not me. I like to match wits with old Unc. I guess I'm just too sharp for him.
You know, it's strange to me that Unky mistook a report card for a note from a girl.
Yeah. Anybody should be able to tell that this envelope doesn't have a note in it. Hey, it does have a note in it.
What?
It's a note from Unc. Listen. Leroy, if I got an E in English, I'd throw away my report card, too.
The great Gildersleeve will be back in just a moment. Do you know why it is these days so many women are serving salads with their own homemade French dressing? It's because they've discovered this is an easy way to get more variety into their meals. In a minute or two, they can mix a wonderful dressing that gives new interest to even the most ordinary salad. Just to show you how simple it is, Kraft has attached a recipe folder to each bottle of Kraft salad oil at your grocer's. In the folder are recipes for 6 different easy-to-make French dressings. There's a cranberry French dressing that turns cottage cheese into a feast, and a Roquefort dressing that the swankiest restaurant would be proud of, and an out-of-this-world French dressing for your next tossed salad. The real secret that makes all 6 of these dressings so easy to shake up and so extra good is Kraft salad oil. This is a special kind of salad oil. Kraft oil is the one oil that is superfine to give it a lighter body. It blends better with the other ingredients the recipe calls for. Tomorrow morning, pick up a bottle of superfine Kraft salad oil at your grocer's. And be sure to get your free recipe folder that tells you how to become a real master at making French dressings your very first try. Well, Leroy's report card is causing him a little embarrassment. He got a low grade in English. He tried to lose his report card by letting it blow out the window. Well, we hate to say it, but it served Leroy right when it blew right into the hands of the great Gildersleeve.
Unc, how did you know I was trying to lose it?
Leroy, I couldn't help being a little curious when I saw you open the window and stick your report card way out on the ledge.
No camp this summer, huh?
No camp. According to our agreement, you had to be up in all 4 subjects if you wanted to go to camp for 4 weeks.
Well, I was up in 3 subjects and down in 1. How about going to camp for 3 weeks?
What?
You can knock off a week for the E in English.
No, Leroy, a rule is a rule. This has become a matter of principle. You shouldn't have tried to put one over on me.
Gosh, Unc, if I'd really wanted to trick you, I could have.
What's this, my boy?
I could have put my report card in the furnace and you'd never have seen it. But I wouldn't do that. I was a good little boy and practically dropped it in your lap.
No, Leroy.
Hey, why didn't I think of burning it?
No, you might as well forget about camp. I'm sorry, because I was hoping you'd get to go.
Unc, does it seem a little odd to you that the only subject I got a low mark in was English?
Odd?
That teacher could have had it in for me, you know.
Leroy, let's not try to shift the blame to your teacher.
Oh, I'm not.
Miss Turner has nothing against you.
I don't know. I'm not a very popular kid with Miss Turner.
Leroy, no teacher would give you a low grade on purpose.
Well, maybe she does it subconsciously. Like I say, she's the only one who grades me down. Looks fishy.
Yes.
Unc, you should see some of the ridiculous marks she gives me on the themes I hand in.
Pretty bad, huh?
The themes are good, but she grades them bad.
Do you keep your themes, my boy?
I'll say. If she tries to funk me at the end of the year, I'll need them for evidence. No kidding, they're swell. Wouldn't surprise me if I turned out to be a writer.
Well, you tell a good story.
No kidding, Unc. I've been getting a raw deal.
All right. You bring all your English themes down tonight, and I'll read them.
Yeah?
If I decide Miss Turner's giving you a raw deal, you can go to camp.
How do you like that? Trapped myself again. When Uncle reads those themes, he'll know I deserve that low grade. In fact, Miss Turner was being real nice when she gave me that E. If I can get Mr. Peavy and some of his friends to come over, Unc might forget about them. Sure, Mr. Peavy will help me. He's a good guy. Hello, Mr. Peavy.
Hello, Leroy. What can I do for you today?
Mr. Peavy, can you remember when you were a little kid?
Okay.
Can you remember that far back?
Well, how big a little kid?
About like me.
Oh, Leroy, I remember very well when I was your age, strange as it may seem.
Swell. When you were a kid, did you ever want to go to camp?
Yes. As I recall, I wanted to go to camp with Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders.
No. I mean going to boys' camp this summer. Mr. Peavy, would you help a little kid swing it?
What do I have to buy to help the cause?
Well, you don't have to buy anything. All I want you to do is come over and spend the evening with Unc tonight.
That'll get you to camp?
Yeah, well, Unc promised to send me to camp if I got good grades on my report card. And, well, one of the grades didn't come out so hot. English.
Oh, I see.
He's going to give me a last chance by reading my themes tonight to see if they're any good.
And I take it you don't want that chance.
I sure don't. If you'll come over and visit with him, maybe he'll forget to read them.
Leroy, I'll make a deal with you.
Gosh, I always have to make a deal.
If you'll promise to pull up your grades before school is out, I'll do what I can to get you to camp.
Oh, boy, will you, Mr. Peavy?
I know your uncle would like to see you go.
Oh, hey, he's parking out front. I bet he's coming in here. Where can I go?
You better scoot out the back way.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Peavy.
That's all right, Leroy. Well, I'm not accustomed to inviting myself to people's houses, but here goes.
Hello, Peavy.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you today?
Give me a Coke, Peavy.
Very well.
Yeah, it's getting a little warm outside.
Well, the fountain will be glad to hear it.
Here's your nickel.
No, this one's on the house, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh?
And what kind of cigars do you like?
Peavy, you know the kind of cigars I buy.
I know the kind you buy, but what kind do you like?
Well, at the annual water board meetings, I usually break out one of those 50-centers.
Very well. Here's one on the house.
Peavy, are you running for office?
Oh, my, no.
Well, thanks. Quite a cigar.
I'll bring another one over to your house tonight.
To my house?
I thought I might call on you for a while this evening.
Well, any other time I'd be glad to see you, Peavy, but I'm going to be busy tonight.
You mean you don't want me to come?
I didn't say that.
Well, that's the impression I got.
No, Peavy.
Of course, if you haven't time for your friend.
Peavy.
Anytime you want to visit, you come in here. But if I'm not welcome at your house,
Oh, my goodness.
I give you free Cokes, free cigars. I try to hold up my end of the friendship. But if it's come to the breaking point...
Peavy, for goodness sakes, come over tonight.
Now you're being sociable.
Miss Gildersleeve, is Mr. Peavy coming over?
Yes, Bertie, he is.
You staying in or going out tonight?
I don't know what Peavy wants to do, Bertie. I don't even know why he's coming over. But before he does, I wish you'd send Leroy into the den. I want to go over his English themes.
Yes, sir. I'll send him right in. I'll do that right away. Yes, sir. Leroy!
Yeah, Bertie?
Miss Gildersleeve wants you and them themes in the den.
Yeah?
How you going to hold him off till Mr. Peavy gets here?
Gosh, I thought I had that taken care of. Oh, there's the doorbell. I got it taken care of.
Good evening, Leroy.
Well, Judge Hooker. What a surprise.
Did I get here in time, Leroy?
Right on the nose. Come in, Judge.
Thank you.
Who is it, Leroy?
Guess what? Your old friend Judge Hooker came to call on you.
Hello, Gilda.
Judge, I didn't expect to see you tonight.
I know you didn't, but it seemed a most appropriate evening to call.
The judge was very nice to think about you, Unc.
Well, make yourself at home in the parlor, Judge. I have a little business to take up with Leroy.
Say something, Judge.
Yeah. Gilda, this is a fine way to treat a caller.
What?
Brushing me off the minute I get here.
Judge, I have to closet myself for a little while and do some very important reading.
Do you mean you prefer to go off someplace and read while I, your guest, cool my heels in the parlor?
Old goat, he doesn't have heels, he has hoofs.
I don't know when I've been so insufferable.
Now, Judge.
I'll get it, Bertie.
Why does everybody insist on visiting me tonight?
It shows how popular you are, Gilda, in spite of your rudeness.
Well, good evening, everybody.
Come in, Mr. Peavy.
Oh, it's Peavy.
Hello, Judge. Mr. Gildersleeve, here's that other cigar I promised you.
You're all right, Peavy. Let's everybody sit down.
I didn't know you were coming over, Peavy.
Well, I didn't expect to see you here either.
Unc, doesn't it make you feel good to have so many good friends drop in on you?
Well, it is a little flattering, Leroy. Especially the way they insist on coming.
Oh, hello, Mr. Peavy, Judge.
Yeah, hello, Marjorie.
Evening, Marjorie.
That looks like a convention.
Oh, excuse me. Phone.
I'll get it, Unky. Hello? Oh, yes, Mr. Munson.
It's Floyd.
Oh, is he coming too?
What's that? Oh, well, I'll tell him. Goodbye. Leroy.
Yeah?
Mr. Munson said to tell you he couldn't come over tonight.
Okay.
Did I say something wrong?
Leroy. What's going on?
Is something going on?
Did you invite a house full of people over here tonight?
Well,
Horace, did you know I plan to spend the evening checking Leroy's English themes?
Don't cross-examine me. I'm a lawyer.
Peavy, I suppose you came over tonight just to enjoy my company.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Leroy.
yeah.
March into the den. You and I are going to read those themes.
Okay.
Peavy, you and the judge know where the cribbage board is. I'll see you later.
All right, Gilda.
Have a good notion to take my cigar and go home.
Now, Leroy, let's have them.
Here they are.
No, not the one off the top. It's probably your best one. I'll take one out of the middle. Right here. Uh-huh. Here. Here's one Miss Turner marked with a big red E. And what's the title? My favorite subject. My boy, you don't spell favorite F-A-V-R-I-T.
Okay, don't read it. I'll give up trying to get to camp.
Leroy, you're going to sit and listen and suffer through it with me. Now, let's begin. When I am asked to write about my favorite subject, it's easy. Favorite. He is a subject that is very close to me. It is too bad other kids do not have one as good as me. Leroy, that's very bad English.
I know.
I don't blame Miss Turner for grading you low. Well, let's wade through it. Have you guessed who my favorite subject is? No, he is not a dog. He is the city water commissioner. He is also my uncle, and the best uncle a kid could have. Leroy. That is why I say it is too bad other kids don't have one as good as me. See, I don't see anything so wrong with this.
You don't?
Well, I can see how Miss Turner could give you an E for grammatical errors, but by George, the subject matter deserves an A. Here, let me go on. He is a big man who aren't afraid of nobody. Judge! Peavy! Come see what little Leroy wrote.
The great Gildersleeve will be back in just 30 seconds. Don't let anyone tell you that all the salad oils your grocer carries are alike. There's one oil that's different, and it's called Kraft Salad Oil. This oil was created by Kraft with exactly the qualities needed for perfect homemade French dressings and for finest baking. Kraft oil is superfined by an exclusive process. That means it's lighter-bodied. It actually blends better with other ingredients. Get lighter-bodied Kraft oil when you shop tomorrow.
Let's see. It's $1.60 and 25.
Well, Leroy, what are you doing by the phone?
Adding up my money. I'm earning the dough to pay my expenses at camp.
Yeah, good for you. By George, you're a fine boy.
Thanks, Unc.
You may not be the smartest, but you've got character. And that's what counts.
Yeah.
Good luck with your project, my boy.
Thanks, Unc. Now, who's next on the list? Here it is. Hello? Piggy? Leroy. How'd you come out in English? Got an E, huh? Is your dad gonna let you go to camp? He isn't, huh? Well, I got a theme that'll swing it for you. 2 bits of copy, results guaranteed, or your money back.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White. It is partially transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
This week, the Kraft Foods Company salutes home demonstration clubs in more than 60,000 American communities. All year long, these clubs pursue a practical program of training farm and urban women so they'll be more efficient homemakers and better equipped to meet family problems and understand world conditions. National Home Demonstration Week is now being celebrated throughout the nation. Special activities are highlighting the responsibilities of the home in developing healthy, happy citizens who can meet the future with courage and confidence.
Next, Groucho Marx presents You Bet Your Life on NBC.